Bills Mafia, our Buffalo Bills are sharpening every edge, tightening every detail, and working toward one ultimate mission: bringing a Lombardi Trophy home to Western New York. Every decision, every roster move, every practice is designed to take this team from almost there to champions of the NFL. Before we dive into today's exclusive news, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Your voice is what keeps this community strong, and I want to hear from you. Now let's break down what just went down in Orchard Park, because it's got Bills fans buzzing. On Wednesday, news broke that the Bills had waived Jordan Poyer, one of the most beloved defenders to ever wear the red, white, and blue. Immediately, questions started flying. Was this the end of Poyer's Buffalo story? Had the team really decided to move on days before the 2025 season opener against Baltimore? But then came the catch. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo provided crucial context. This was more of a paperwork shuffle than a goodbye. Just a brief move by the Bills to get Gabe Davis on the practice squad, then moved to the injured list. Poyer will still be on the squad as well, Garafolo reported. Translation? Poyer isn't going anywhere. He's still part of this team, still in the locker room, still ready to contribute. And that's big, not just for depth, but for leadership. Poyer isn't the all-pro ball hawk he once was alongside Micah Hyde, but let's be clear, his knowledge of this system, his ability to mentor younger defensive backs, and his steady presence could be priceless as the Bills push for a championship. Look at the Bills' secondary right now. Cole Bishop is stepping in as the starting strong safety, Taylor Rapp holds down the free safety spot, and behind them are names like Damar Hamlin and Jordan Hancock. Talented? Yes. Experienced? Not at the level of Jordan Poyer. That's why his role is so important. Even if Poyer spends more time on the practice squad than the field, his voice carries weight. He's seen the highs and the heartbreaks. He's been part of this team's rise to AFC East dominance. He knows what it takes to compete with the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow when everything is on the line. Sometimes winning isn't just about having the youngest or fastest roster. It's about balance. The Bills are betting that Poyer's veteran presence gives them just that. And let's not forget the other half of the story. Gabe Davis is back. Bills GM Brandon Beane has always been praised for finding ways to add depth and value, and this move is another example. Sure, on paper, it's just a practice squad signing, but for Bills fans, it's a reunion with a wideout who gave us unforgettable moments. Remember the 2022 divisional round against the Chiefs when Davis caught 4 touchdowns? That game cemented him in Buffalo lore. Now, after a rocky stint in Jacksonville where he signed a 3-year, $39 million deal, but managed just 20 catches for 239 yards before a knee injury cut his season short, Davis is coming home. For now, the plan is simple. Let him rehab on the practice squad. No pressure, no expectations. If he gets healthy and finds that old form, suddenly the Bills have a dangerous weapon competing for the WR3 spot. Right now, the wide receiver depth chart looks like this. Shakir and Coleman, the rookie phenom, expected to be Allen's future wide receiver 1. Khalil Shakir, reliable, versatile, and steadily improving. Josh Palmer, the underrated pickup who could be a solid WR3. That's a good group, but if Davis comes back healthy and pushes Palmer for snaps, that could turn a good group into a great one. Think about it. Davis already has chemistry with Josh Allen. He knows the offense. He's been in the biggest playoff moments. If his knee heals properly, he could be the exact kind of mid-season boost that puts Buffalo over the top. And if not, no harm, no foul. The Bills didn't invest big money in this reunion. It's a low-risk, high-reward move. Of course, all of this ties into the bigger picture. The Bills don't just want to compete, they want to finally take down the Kansas City Chiefs in the postseason. 4 times in the last 5 years, Mahomes and company have ended Buffalo's playoff dreams. That's the hurdle. That's the monkey on this team's back. So what did the Bills do this offseason? They doubled down. They added Joey Bosa to the pass rush. They strengthened depth with reunions like Poyer and Davis. They kept the core intact. The message is clear. They're not backing down. They're not running from the challenge. They're coming right at it. And now it's time to show it. Sunday, Highmark Stadium, Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens. This isn't just a Week 1 matchup, it's a playoff rematch. It's Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. It's 2 AFC contenders setting the tone for the season. For Buffalo, it's about making a statement, showing that all the talk of windows closing and the Chiefs' dominance doesn't matter. This is their year, their moment. And who knows, maybe it's Jordan Poyer's voice in the locker room or Gabe Davis's comeback down the stretch that makes the difference when January football arrives. Let's start with Shakir, because this really is big news. You all remember the way he stepped up last year. He put together his best season as a pro, 76 receptions, 821 yards, and 4 touchdowns across 15 games. More than the numbers, it was the trust factor. Josh Allen leaned on him as a reliable target, especially on those crucial third downs when the game was hanging in the balance. Shakir has always been the kind of receiver who thrives on precision. He's not just about splash plays, though he's had his share, but about being where Allen needs him when Allen needs him. That ankle injury in camp could have been a major setback for Buffalo's offensive chemistry. But the fact that he's already practicing fully right before the opener, that's huge. It means stability. It means Allen has his go-to safety valve back on the field. And let's be honest here, Bills fans, this offense has seen a lot of change. We've got Shakir and Coleman coming into his own, Joshua Palmer arriving as a free agent addition, and even Gabe Davis back on the practice squad as he rehabs his knee. With so many moving parts, having Shakir healthy restores a sense of continuity. Now the flip side, Shakir and Coleman, the second-year wide receiver who turned so many heads last season with his big playability, is nursing a groin injury. He's been limited in practice, and while that doesn't automatically mean he's out for Sunday night, it does raise questions. Coleman, as we all saw in 2024, is a special talent. He had just 29 receptions as a rookie, but he turned them into 556 yards and 4 touchdowns. Do the math. That's 19.2 yards per catch. That's game-breaking ability. That's a weapon who stretches defenses and forces safeties to play deeper than they'd like. The groin injury, though, complicates things. Groin issues can linger, and they often limit a player's explosiveness. For a receiver like Coleman, whose game is built on separation, speed, and vertical threat, being even a half step slower can change everything.
And here's where it gets interesting. If Coleman can't go, or if he's limited in his role, Buffalo's offensive game plan may have to shift. Instead of testing Baltimore deep with Coleman's size and speed, Allen may have to rely more on shorter, controlled routes with Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, and the running backs. That doesn't mean Buffalo can't move the ball, but it changes how they attack. So, why are these two injury updates so significant? Because of who the Bills are playing in Week 1. This isn't some soft opener. This is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, a team that Buffalo beat in last year's AFC divisional round. This is a rematch. It's a statement game right out of the gate. The Ravens' defense is known for being physical, especially their secondary. They've got corners who want to jam you at the line, safeties who want to hit you in the mouth. Having both Shakir and Coleman at full strength would give Josh Allen the balance he needs. Shakir carving up those short and intermediate zones, and Coleman threatening to blow the top off the defense. Without Coleman, or with a limited version of him, the Bills' offensive balance could tilt. It's not a disaster, but it's a different equation. Let's circle back to Shakir for a moment, because his return might not just be good news, it might be a storyline for Week 1. Think about it. If Coleman isn't fully ready, Shakir becomes even more important. He'll likely see more targets, more opportunities to be that chain mover, that reliable second option behind whoever steps up as Allen's WR1. And Shakir is more than ready for it. Remember how many people doubted him when he was drafted? A 5th-round pick in 2022. Not the tallest, not the fastest, but here we are, 3 years later, and he's carved out a legitimate role in an offense led by one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in football. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens because Shakir has worked his tail off and earned Allen's trust. As for Coleman, this groin injury might be nothing more than a speed bump. Limited in practice could just mean the Bills are playing it safe. They don't want to push him too hard in early September when the season is a marathon. The last thing they want is for this injury to flare up and cost him multiple games. But you know Coleman. He's competitive. He wants to be on that field. If he's anywhere near ready, he's going to push to play. And if he does suit up, even at less than 100%, the Ravens will have to respect his ability. One deep shot, One contested catch, and suddenly the defense is on its heels. All of this ties into the bigger picture for 2025. This is the year the Bills are saying enough is enough. Enough heartbreak, enough coming up short in January. They've loaded up this roster with veterans like Joey Bosa, they've brought back familiar faces like Jordan Poyer, and they've developed young talents like Shakir and Coleman. The goal isn't just to compete. The goal is to finish the job. And these small updates, who's healthy, who's limited, they all matter because every detail could be the difference between another playoff run and finally breaking through. So, here's where we stand. The Bills waived Jordan Poyer, but not really. He's still here, still part of the team, still carrying the weight of experience. They brought back Gabe Davis, not as a savior, but as a bet on upside and familiarity. These are the kinds of moves that don't always grab national headlines, but they're the kind of smart, strategic decisions that can tilt the balance over a long NFL season. And now, I want to hear from you, Bills Mafia. Do you think Jordan Poyer still has something left to give this team, even in a mentorship role? Do you believe Gabe Davis can make a true comeback and contribute to this offense again? Most importantly, is this the year the Bills finally get over the hump and take down the Chiefs when it matters? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading every one of them. And before you go, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe for more exclusive Bills news, and share this with your fellow fans, because this isn't just football. It's family, it's pride, it's Buffalo. This season, the narrative is ours to write.